Hi, everyone. I have to bite my tongue to not say welcome ponderers because tonight we're not here to talk about the pond and the way home, but we will be talking about a really good time travel movie that hopefully we've all seen. And to talk about it, we have a special guest. And you recognize Roxanne, but our special guest is Aubrey Reynolds, who starred in the movie we're going to be talking about tonight. She's going to be giving us hopefully, some inner circle kinds of views of what the experience was like and talking about some of her upcoming projects. But as usual, I'd love to start by asking Aubrey to tell us a little bit about how you even got into the acting game.
Ooh, that's a good question. I started when I was about 13. And actually, I owe my start to a teacher like
Oh,
you, Roxanne.
thank you.
Her name was Miss Jones, and I was a very active teenager. I was like always trying to do bits and always trying to make my friends and fellow classmates laugh. And I remember this so vividly. I had my hair on the top of my head and I was doing like an I Dream of Jeannie impression. And my teacher had the entire class go quiet and was like, Aubrey, they're having auditions for an advanced theater class. They're just starting. You need to leave class right now and go audition. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, you have to, or I'll fail you. And so I went and I loved it so much. And that like just kind of gave me the acting bug. And I started doing plays and musicals. And then I went to college and got a BFA, Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Acting, and I started doing film.
I love that. So if you were in plays and musicals, do you have a favorite play or musical?
Ooh, that's a good question. My very first musical was West Side Story.
That's a good
So
one.
yeah, it will always have a special place in my heart. I think the music is so amazing.
It is.
All
My
these years later, it's like timeless, no pun
Mhm.
intended.
Yeah, my favorite is Guys and Dolls. I love
Mm.
Guys
Oh,
and Dolls so much.
I
I
love
love
it
it.
too.
Yeah. And
Aubrey, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say you're a hyphenate. Um, so you write, and you did I see produce as well?
Yeah.
You do it all. How did you make what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you act and then you wanted more roles or weren't seeing the roles, so you wrote them, or how did that come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually have always been a writer. I've loved writing since I was little. I kind of just did it for fun. And then in college, I had a friend who was a producer approach me and ask me to collaborate on a series. And so I had this like master's program, basically writing 13 episodes of this show.
Oh, wow.
It never ended up getting picked up, but I like just suddenly realized that this thing that I love to do could be another career, you know? So I started writing films and I have sold a couple and it's been fun.
Cool.
Wow.
I like it when I pay attention to all the credits and I'll see someone's written it or they're directing it, but they also have the starring role. I love
Mhm.
that because I know it's going to be good because like sometimes, like of course, you're in the business here. You're the actor, there's the director, and the director has to kind of direct you into what they want and you know what you're so here if you're both, you kind of know where it's going to go. Like
Yeah, you're
Alan,
like, I know my
yeah,
character.
Kathy, like Alan Hawko, we love him, and anything he is in, especially with Republic of Doyle, because he wrote it, because he's starring in it, like he knows where
Producer, he's
yes, it
for
needs to
all the
go.
hats.
He
Mhm.
had said that he was in something totally different and he didn't write it. He had not he was just purely an actor and he was like it was fun and refreshing because when you play all those other roles, your mind is constantly, and it was just like a gift just to show up and act. So I always look for those little details because I think I enjoy the movies more when there's a connection between like the starring role or one of the roles and if they've written or directed. I think it's like a cool connection. All right, Aubrey, before we go any further, we want to show you some love. So we got some cool people here. I was telling you behind the stage, it's 10
Studio.
o'clock, okay? The studio. I was saying that we discovered the movie because well, actually a few people already knew about it, but one of our members, her name's Susan, she recommended it. So I put it up. We all started watching. I'm like, it's so cute. We have to have her on. So everyone got excited and they're here. And I just wanted to tell you some of the things. Look, this is Karen. And she says, The Way Home is what that is. Fan who really enjoyed this movie.
Yay.
And Brianna's here and she said, I liked it, watched it again the other day since it had been a while since I saw it. And I don't remember where or if this person is here. They said they loved it so much, they actually purchased it. And I don't know, is it on DVD, like DVD-ish kind of thing, or is it that we can buy it like from
Streaming.
Prime or something, or you don't even know?
I don't know. I think you can buy it. I think it's on Amazon. I think you can like
Yes.
rent
Okay.
or buy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they purchased it. The reason why I was asking if it was on some kind of a, and I know this is old fashioned sounding, but like an actual disc, is because when I was looking through like movie posters, the one that I loved because it was circular, after I saw it, it looked like it was on like a disc. And I was like, is that just a graphic, or was that you can actually purchase it? I thought that was different. Who knows? Debbie says, hello,
Nice.
everyone. I just watched it the other day and it was good.
Nice.
They have a question for you already. Rona wants to know, did you play Maria in the West Side Story?
I did not.
Anita? Were you
No,
a
I was 13.
Ensemble.
I was in the ensemble, but I did have 2 lines.
Oh, okay. Christina says, very talented young lady.
Oh, thank you.
And they're showing all who some watched it on YouTube, on Tubi. There was quite a few different ways that someone could watch it. And Rona's saying, I really enjoyed this movie. So excited that you're here. Oh,
I just want to know, where can I get one of those mirrors?
yes.
I'm not seeing anyone at the moment, but
Yeah, it's so easy, Kathy. All you do is you just have an entire prop team
there you go.
build mirrors for you.
And then I'll work on having a mature gentleman kind of step through from 1850 or wherever.
Yeah, so
Does
easy.
like Toby have like an older uncle or something?
There you go.
I'll call him and ask him.
You know what? I reached out to his peeps. Now I know that his management team, the connection I had was over across the pond, not the pond from our show, The Way Home, the other pond. And I didn't hear back from them because I thought it would have been fun. They probably didn't take me seriously to have him on.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking of him, how does it work? I have seen so doggone many English actors who come over here and they do their roles, and you don't know they're, from England or Britain unless you see them in another interview or something. They just meld into the accent so easily. Is that when you were acting opposite him? Did he just keep the American accent all the time, or when they yelled cut, he went back into his natural? Wasn't he British?
No, he's from England, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
from Great Britain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he actually had the British accent the whole time.
Did he? Okay,
Mhm.
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
But
Yeah, but he can do a great American accent.
But
So-
Aubrey, he is from Great Britain, correct?
Mhm.
Yes. Like that was one of my questions. So the cast, first of all, you filmed on location where? Where was it? Because it was gorgeous. So where was it?
No.
Where was it filmed?
Yeah, so we were in northern England.
Wow.
And yeah, it was absolutely stunning. We were actually staying where we were filming in this giant manor.
Oh my gosh.
So everyone in the crew and the cast was local, so they drove themselves in, but everyone from the crew and me stayed in this mansion together. It was so fun.
That was my other question. I was going to say, so because it looked like it was out of the way, I guess when they were doing that droney type, we're above it getting like an aerial view, but sometimes I know that that is like staged, but it looked like the actual place was out of the way. So I'm like, where did you stay? And here you actually stayed where you were filming. Is that
Yes. And all
oh,
they did the drone shots themselves. So like that was the land. It was magnificent. There was so much land and cows everywhere. Sometimes we'd have to hold to wait for all the cows to pass by.
now, does the manor actually have a real name? And is it used? Was this a one-time deal or is it used for other movies?
Ooh, I actually don't know. The
Okay.
manor does have a name, and of course, I don't remember it
Okay.
because I'm on the spot.
No, that's
But I don't know if they've filmed there before. It was quite a ways
out
away
of the
from
way. Yeah.
civilization. Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. And I have to tell you, and someone here said this. Um, so it was a small cast, which was good. I don't like when there's like a ton of people and you're trying to keep track of what's going on because then what you had was really intimate. But where's I was trying to figure out if I could see where someone said that they loved the caretaker, which was
Oh,
Quinn was
he needs
his
his own series.
part of me.
He needs
Yes.
his own series. What a wow,
Blake.
great character.
Blake was his name. He was so cute and funny.
He is incredible. Actually, at that time, he was relatively new to acting,
Oh,
and he just like had such an innate ability that I think sometimes when you don't have like too many years of different people's ideas of what acting can be, you can just like be fully yourself.
okay.
And he was so great at that, just tapping into his own humor because his character's so funny. And he's from Northern England and has that like thick accent.
Mhm.
What's funny is our director actually had to keep telling him to like tone the accent down because he was saying that our American audiences won't understand you. So you have to make
Oh,
it a
well, yeah.
little bit
Yeah, 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 yeah.
more Americanized. But he was so great and so funny. He's also like such a lively person in the makeup room. He would tell us stories and be chatting. It was a really lovely energy.
Mm. Now, when you were there, how long was the project filming?
We were there for 3 weeks. It was really fast. And then we actually did a very small 3-day shoot in Utah where the company is based. They have a soundstage
Mhm.
and
81.
they built the basement there.
Oh,
So everything where like we find the mirror and we go through, we had that built so that we didn't have to run into any issues or
okay.
sound or
Like
anything.
the steps that you're walking down, all of that is built in Utah.
Yeah, so actually the steps leading to the basement were in the manor.
Mhm.
And once we got to the
And it
room,
was, yeah.
it was a set.
So you all had to fly over here. Whoever was
Mhm.
involved. Well, actually, the only people that actor-wise that we ever saw in the basement with the mirror was between you and Toby, right? There weren't nobody else was down in the basement with you. So then you
Correct.
come over here too. Okay, that's cool. Candace, what movie are we talking about? This is funny. So she's never seen it. So we're gonna make her want to see it. So I know what the title of the movie is, but let's have our star tell us what the title of the movie is.
The movie is called Love Across Time.
I'm gonna put it in here for them. And I thought that name was cool.
Yeah, I like
You,
it.
Do you know what else?
That's how I found it. I Googled after The Way Home. I was missing my fix of time travel, so I actually Googled movies about time travel. And you're
Oh,
supposed
I love
to know.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things, oh, here it was. Barbara was like, someone saying the caretaker was funny in this movie. One of the things that I like, because you always think about this. If someone wants to come back to the present or the future, or however the time travel is in that particular movie or series, what did they do? Like you said, you don't have a license, you need a license. You know, if you were in the States, you need a social security number, right? You need, and the money, he was smart that he would go back, put the money in the bank because it was one of the oldest banks, and then that all through
Compound
time,
interest.
yeah, wind up being like a millionaire. And I'm like,
Genius.
oh, what a cute touch on the show. I mean, really. And wait, Charles Barkley the fifth, the writer for this, do you know why they chose that name? Is that a little piece of humor, or is there a reason behind it?
I can't remember actually like where that came from, but it was definitely for the comedy of it.
Yes, absolutely. I thought that was great. Now, I noticed that you've done quite a bit with Candlelight Media, and then they have like a connection with Silver Peak Productions. So, and then there's like this team of like a male and a female that either are producing, directing, writing, like they do a combo. Are how did that wind up? How did you wind up into that little, they call it the Hallmark Rolodex. That's in a
Mhm.
cute way. They'll say there's a Rolodex. You're in the Rolodex. So they're, your people are going to be using you. They like you. They've worked together before. But how did you get to be part of this?
Yeah, so I actually auditioned for Candlelight in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was still in school and they cast me in my very first feature film in a leading role. It was a period drama based in pioneer times in Utah. It was like there's a lot of Mormon history intertwined. It's kind of like a twisted history
Mm-hmm.
piece. And they,
Loved you.
I just auditioned out of the blue and they gave me a chance.
Aw.
And so anytime they are interested at all in working with me, I will jump at the chance because they basically gave me my start in film.
Right.
And several years after that, they started really getting heavily into the romance scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they just reached out to my agent and were like, "Do you think Aubrey would want to do this side character role?" It was like a friend to the lead. And this movie was called An Hour Behind. Um, and my character was like a little worker in a cupcake shop. And I had never been in a romance, and I love rom-coms so much, and so I was so excited.
Yeah. We do too.
And we had such a great time that after that they started considering me for bigger parts, and now, oh gosh, I think we've done like
Yeah.
7 or 8 movies together.
Right. Yeah. You I was just going through, just for Nate, like for the our people that are here. There were a couple that were with Hallmark. There's Love's Portrait, and that was like a Hallmark movie that would be on the Hallmark Mystery and Movie channel. And there was one, Christmas Tree Lane. I think Andrew Walker was in that year in that one too. So I was like, oh look. And then there was, this is the cutest name ever, Hot Chocolate Holiday. I'm like, that'd be right up my alley. Now that is not Hallmark. It's, I think, Lifetime. That one might be. You do quite a bit of the movies that you're on or in Lifetime.
You,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
you touched on An Hour Behind, and I just wanted to tell everyone, anyone who hasn't seen that, that is so fun and it's such a cute rom-com. And it's not quite about time travel, but there's time elements in there. that are really, it's really funny. And if you're looking for something to, fill up the hours until the way home is back, that would be a great one to check out.
Well, we're gonna want
Also,
them.
Love's Portrait is so
Yes,
delightful.
I
It's
wrote
set
that
in
one down.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Love's Portrait, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's a Hallmark one though, isn't it? They put it on.
Yeah, and we shot that one on location in Ireland.
Love it. So
Wow.
we're gonna have them watch all of your stuff. And while
Yes.
we're thinking about it, tell us, how can we reach you on social media?
I'm on Instagram
Okay.
at Aubrey Ann, ANN Reynolds.
Okay.
And that's basically it. I'm not so good at the social media. I should get better at it.
That's okay. So this is okay. I'm good. I don't know if you could say it. AubreyReynolds.
NOLDS.
I
Mhm.
left out the N. I fixed it. Okay. And that's on Instagram. And I just put it up there. Okay.
Great.
Um, look, they're going Barry Watson. Barry
Yep.
Watson was, oh, I love
And
Barry Watson.
Emily
He was
Rose,
so sweet.
yeah, she's wonderful. I've watched the entire uh, series of Haven, so I love Emily Rose, and so that was just a fantastic,
I love
fantastic
it.
movie.
Yeah, Emily was really inspiring to me because I had never seen a working actress who was also a mother. And when we
Mhm.
did An Hour Behind, she had a 6-month-old baby. And I
Oh,
think she was 6, maybe 3 months. I can't remember exactly.
Mhm.
But it was so inspiring to me because she brought her mom along with her and she was balancing the filming and would run to her trailer and feed her baby and
Aw,
just could do it all. It was awesome.
that's nice. That's nice when you I don't know, like you can learn from who you're working with. You're not like secluded away from each other.
silos, yeah.
Yeah, like you interact. That's cool. That's a nice thing. I bet you if she heard you say that, she would really like that. Candace is saying, I saw An Hour Behind, and I now have to find the other movie that was filmed in Utah. There were several filmed in Utah because that's where the production company is, right? That's where their
Mhm.
house. Yeah. So there's several of them. If you look up Aubrey's credentials, I guess they could use a lot of people use, what is it? IMDb, that the
Mhm.
like the free one, and all your stuff will be there, and then they could watch and find all the names. And I already looked up, they're all accessible. Like you can see them multiple places. If people have streaming instead of cable, they're available. Things that are on YouTube legally, not copied and put up there. Oh my goodness. Okay, we kind of like got off the beaten path here.
Mhm.
Before we talk about anything else, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the movie, in the sense that I love the element of the nuts. I knew immediately, of course, that was placed when we saw you throw them out. I was like, oh, that's going to have big meaning in the story, which I thought that was cool, how to get him over to the other side to like help you out. But were there any challenges that you, like a positive challenge for you when you had this role, and even in the making of this movie?
That's such a good question. This movie was one of the best experiences
Oh,
I've had. It was so smooth and so fun. The cast was so amazing. There weren't a lot of really hard days. Like,
mm-hmm,
we shoot really fast. When you shoot a movie in 15 days, you have to shoot fast. So
mm-hmm, yeah,
that's a challenge in and of itself. But really, I felt like the character was well written and I kind of got it right away. Um, I think my biggest challenge was honestly just that I had really bad allergies in
oh,
England. They call it hay fever. And it was like the allergy season there, and it wasn't here yet. So when I
mm-hmm.
landed, I was just bombarded with allergies. And then the only allergy medicine that worked made me drowsy. So in between takes, I'm just like trying not to fall asleep. But besides that, really not a lot of difficulties. Just so rare, to be honest.
That's a nice memory there.
How do they cast a rom-com like that? I mean, do you well, it wasn't a rom-com, I guess. It was just a romantic movie, but um how did they cast you and Toby? Did they do a chemistry test? Did they just kind of throw you two together and hope for the best, acting wise, or how did they know you two were going to click like you did as the characters?
It was more the second one. They they had separate auditions for Toby, and they had worked with me before, and I had done a movie called Santa Maybe with them earlier that year. That was a blast, and I think they talked to me a little bit about the film, and I was trying not to be desperate, but I was like, I was like, I really want to do that movie. I was like, that sounds so fun. And I love Kate and Leopold, which it kind of reminded me
Yes,
of.
you said that. I think Kathy, you said that, or maybe Susan, who recommended it, said it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was kind of just edging my way in there. And they held auditions. I think everything was on Zoom since
Yeah.
Toby was across the pond. And they just said he was the one. It was just so clear. And you've seen the movie. He's perfect.
Yeah.
He is handsome, very handsome.
Yeah. And luckily he had done soaps before, so the pace is kind of similar. Because sometimes you can be an amazing actor, but if you're not familiar with how
Yeah.
fast these movies move, it can be difficult, but he had it in the bag.
So I always was thinking in my mind that 2 weeks or that 15 days was like a Hallmark thing, and they were pumping them out because they make so many of them, and especially when it's Christmas time, they put 40 out, and here it kind of maybe is like standard, like
The
yeah,
norm.
yeah, for a
I
TV.
think for this kind of a budget,
Yeah.
for this kind of a TV movie,
Hmm.
it's just become standard.
Standard. Yeah. Yeah. Now, what are some of your favorites? Favorite line, favorite scene, favorite costume? I
There's
was there.
so many. Anything with Quinn. I love the scene where I meet Quinn for the first time.
Yes, yes.
And it was so fun to film because we had this choreographed walk and talk that our
That's
director
true.
had in mind. And it was just so fun for him to be so brazen in this gorgeous space. It just, the juxtaposition was so funny to me. So that was really fun. My favorite line in the movie actually didn't make it into the final cut.
Oh, that stinks.
I know, but there's a line where Charles asks if we can go shopping, and he says, "Might we be able to acquire more tracksuits?" And I just thought it was so funny, but I guess they cut it for time.
I'm surprised they didn't try to slip in any horseback riding.
Oh
That
yeah.
that was not in there. Usually, a countryman is out when he's out in the country, he's on the horse and
I think it's because we were trying to hide him.
Mm.
So we
that's
had to stay
true.
inside.
Yes. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. You're right. You're right. I think I don't know. I just thought there was like so many cute little, I don't know, just the way they went about doing it. Like when he's taking the walk through the town with Quinn, and yet he's in the real, like, modern day clothing. It was just, I don't know. It was funny. And how it's starting to dawn on Quinn in his mind who he really is. Like, he really is like from the past. And he's just so accepting of it, but not. And I was like, some people that they would be like, oh, that takes you out of the, like, when you into a movie and you forget you're in the movie. I thought it worked because we're so used to the way home, and after a while everybody knows about the pond. You jump in the pond and it takes you into the past. That's part of the genre. But I thought they did it so well because it wasn't like like people were trying to hunt him down and figure out, oh, is he really from the past or find out the secret. It was more about the relationship that you were building together.
I
Yeah.
like that too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. I liked it.
I'd love to hear, I want to hear what you may have coming up that you can share, but I have
Yes.
one question before that. And um, I'm a person that likes to know how the sauce is made or how the sausage is made. And I was wondering, because you wear the acting hat and you wear the writing hat, and you kind of had experience on both sides of acting, do you prefer being the leading role or the character actress?
That's a great question. It all depends on the story.
Mm,
I think as a writer, I just love story so much, and I think the side characters often have a lot of fun depth to them, and they get to bring in a lot of the humor. And I would love to do more of that. I would love to do more wacky character work. But also, there's something so special about being the through line of a film
mhm.
where you're this film in particular, I was the audience as well as me, because they're experiencing the world through me and experiencing Charles Barkley for the first time along with
Yeah.
me. So it's a really fun experience to have the entire magic ride.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's nice. Like thinking about that kind of almost has like a theater feel.
Hmm.
When right, have you ever done theater? I know you
Yes.
have done I meant have you done it like professionally outside of when you were in school?
I did it for a while when I lived in Utah. I
Okay.
did many productions in Utah Valley. But I actually haven't done theater for 10 years. I'd love to get back into it though. I love rehearsal. Rehearsal is my favorite part of it. My last show I did actually was Pride and Prejudice, and I played
Oh.
Jane.
Oh.
So kind of in the realm of Charles Barkley.
Yeah, you're like all parts of the acting
No
world.
kidding. No
Nice
kidding.
for you. You're all like well-rounded. Do you
Stop,
sing?
stop.
Do you sing?
Yeah, I do.
Dance.
What?
I don't dance very well, but I can
You
dance.
just didn't have the right teacher yet. A teacher's gonna come along and you're gonna be fine.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It is, it is. You did a little dancing, a little slow dancing with, Charles. Aubrey
Mhm.
and Charles did a cute little slow dance. I loved how you moved his hand down. When you put your hand here and she moves it down, down your back because it was all proper up at the top when you were doing your little dance. That was cute.
Yeah, I love that moment. I actually fought to keep that moment in
Well, it
because
was
our
good.
our
It was
director was like, "Is it a little
no.
like?" And I was like, "No, no, no. It's a perfect um reverse as to what we usually see, which is
Mhm.
raise it
Move it
up."
up.
And
Yes.
it's like, "No, we want the intimacy of it."
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes, and it was sweet, it was small, and I liked it. I thought that was cute.
Oh,
Um,
good.
and before you tell us about anything on in the future that we could be on the lookout for, Angel K Mom, hello, says, "Loved you as Lily in Love's Portrait and the movie Santa Maybe."
Thank you.
All right. They're giving you some compliments. Okay. Tell us now, you don't have to divulge all your secrets, but tell us what you can, like what we should be looking out for. What's coming up? Where can we find you again?
I have a movie coming out on the Lifetime channel.
Okay,
I
Lifetime.
don't I don't have a date yet, but I think it'll be in the next couple months. And
Cool.
my writing partner and I actually wrote it and starred in it as sisters.
See, that's when it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I already know.
I hope you like it. And
We will.
it's a really I think it's a really neat story. It's a Lifetime thriller, but my character is an ASL interpreter, and so I got to use a lot of sign language in
I
the
was about
film.
to say, it looked like you were saying thank you in sign language.
Yes, I did. I first learned ASL in Love's Portrait, just a little bit, and got a taste for it, and kind of started dabbling
I like
in that
it.
beautiful language.
All right, so we'll be definitely I'll keep, the fans abreast of it all, but they can also follow you on social media like I put it in there, which is just it's your first name, middle name. Well, we're assuming it's your middle name and last
It
name.
is.
Yeah, it is. It's in there, and which is really easy. And it's Anne without the E.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. Okay. And you had some cute stuff. Debbie's like, I love ASL. You share stuff like behind the scenes and things on your social media, which is nice. I went back and went through it. Oh, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, of course. It's been so fun.
Oh, we're glad. All right. So we're gonna say goodnight to everyone that's here, but don't leave us because we'll say goodnight to you behind the studio. But behind the stage.
Behind the curtain.
Yes, behind the curtain. They're saying thank you. And if you would like to
Thank you,
say thank
everyone.
you.
And I've now got a list of things to watch that are going to carry me through the summer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And those of you who just popped in, like Candace, I don't think you had an opportunity to watch it, but if you go on our page on the way home, I listed all the different ways you could see it, streaming and not streaming, cable, all of that stuff. So you've got choices, and it's cute. It's really cute. Yes. All right. Good night, everyone.
See you
Good
next time.
night.